The incident occurred over friendly territory in western Iraq while the crew was on a combat mission, and again was not the result, as CENTCOM has said, was not the result of hostile or friendly fire. I ask that we remember our fallen and those participating in the recovery operations to bring home our lost KC-135 crew.
Following this morning's briefing, Central Command confirming all 6 crew members of a U.S. KC-135 Strato tanker that crashed have died. Let's bring in retired Navy Vice Admiral Robert Harward, who led invasions in Afghanistan and Iraq. Sir, welcome to you and thank you for being here. We obviously mourn the passing of these 6 servicemen. Can you tell us a little bit about this incident?
Well, here's what I will tell you. Our military every day is at hazard. It's a tough profession. It's a lot of operational risk in training and preparation and operations. And apparently this incident, from what I understand, is an accident. There was a mechanical problem or some sort, but it wasn't hostile fire. But it's indicative of the obligation all our servicemen and members take on. They deal in a hostile environment, not just in war, but in daily training and operations. And so I attribute it to this, and my hearts and prayers are with all of them.
As we move into this day that the Secretary of War described will be the highest volume of strikes on Iran that the military has launched so far, President Trump went on with Brian Kilmeade. They taped last night. This was released this morning. This is some of what he said on degrading Iran's weaponry. Listen.
We've knocked out most of their missiles. We've knocked out many of their drones. We knocked out a lot of the manufacturing areas where they manufacture the missiles and now the drones. We're hitting them harder than anybody's been hit since World War II.
How would you, Admiral, describe the current state of this war?
We're going to go after them with everything we have because it's a watershed event, not just because we know they can't have nuclear weapons, not just because they've been threatening and striking us and the GCC, but third, and I think one of these things, this war with radical Islam. When the regime came to power in 1979, they've been exporting that for 45 years now. If you take out the regime, you bring to an end that support. So the ramifications of this are unprecedented, and that goes back to what the president and the Secretary of War, we're going to go after these guys with everything we have for as long as it takes. They are in an existential position, and we're going to make sure they do not come back from this.
And as far as the president's goals, there's obviously a political football being thrown around in Washington on whether or not the president can ultimately reach his goals with Iran if we don't put boots on the ground. This is the Democrat Senator Blumenthal this morning on that. Listen.
None of these objectives is accomplishable by bombing alone. It has never worked, most recently in Afghanistan and Iraq. We controlled the airspace, we bombed, and the results speak for themselves. So what I fear is that the objectives, if they maintain them, are achievable only with some presence on the ground.
To the senator, you say what, Admiral?
Well, I see some in the Democratic Party are starting to understand this. This isn't politics anymore. This is national security. I saw an article by David Boies, a longtime powerful lawyer in support of the Democrats, who's come out and acknowledged in his op-ed, this isn't about politics anymore. This is national security. So at the end of the day, I think that's going to carry the weight, and everyone's going to be supportive of this effort because of what it means for long-term national security, not just to us as a country, but to our allies and all in the Western world. It's that significant.
Meanwhile, this was General Kane earlier on the military making history in Iran with new warfare tools. Listen to this. I'll get your reaction.
They fired the first precision strike missiles ever used in combat, reaching deep into enemy territory. They've used Army ATACMS to sink multiple ships, including a submarine, and they've done all of this with the precision and determination that comes from relentless training and trust in each other and in their weapon systems.
I'll end with your thoughts on that, Admiral.
Without a doubt, we have the American support for our military. And because of that, we've been able to develop the best tools in the inventory that any nation has. And this is a lesson to others who will challenge us. We're going to use these tools not only to minimize the impact on civilians, but to our people, and to wage war and meet our objectives in the most precise manner anything. So it's a real testament to our whole country and their support of our efforts.